This one, and it looks right now that aside from the early jump shot, that Virginia looking to establish something in the paint. They take the second most threes in the conference, but they're trying to attack inside and get Maryland's bigs in foul trouble and get to their bench.
Past Scott. Scott comes away with the rebound, and Vasquez commits the foul. Let's go over to Jen Hildreth. Jen?
Another loud cheer, much as they did pregame, as L.MIKALAUSKAS enters the game. This guy brings so much energy, and all the Cavaliers have talked about that really being a piece that was missing in the 13 games he was out with a shoulder injury. See if he can come in here and continue to give them a boost as he's done the past few games.
He's a human floor burn, isn't he?
In that stretch, Tim, they were 4-9 without him in the lineup, 3-3 since he returns. He's really given them a nice, good boost of energy off the bench.
A real tough guy. Loves to bang and pop outside. Gives it up to Joseph. And we're tied at 8.
Adrian Joseph is one of those guys, he's a confident shooter. And then he came out and he knocked down his first one. All of a sudden he starts to see a bigger basket.
Osby, not this time. Singletary rips it down.
An interesting matchup with Vasquez on Singletary. Vasquez big enough to give Singletary some problems, especially when he gets into the paint.
The first time the shot clock's wound down to 15 in the first 5 frenetic minutes of this game. And there's a bump underneath. Foul spotted underneath. It'll go against Gist. Well, we talked about how incredible this series has been for us this season. How about in December? One to remember, Ishmael Smith giving Dino Gaudio his first conference win. A young Demon Deacons team that would surprise, beating Virginia Tech December 23rd.
The incredibly fuel-efficient Mitsubishi Outlander. Hop in. It's go time.
How far will we actually...
Wednesday, the Capitals like you've never seen them before. Washington takes on Calgary in HD and on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. It's only the Ovechcam. 2 great ways to watch the Caps.
There's a world outside every darkened door where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long.
Ever since there were cars, Americans have had a love affair with the open road. And with quality gasoline and great snacks coast to coast, Valero is your perfect travel companion. Valero, the all-American gasoline for the all-American love affair.
All these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood.
Trying to make sense of all your insurance options can make anyone feel a bit helpless. Fortunately, that's where we come in. For over 125 years, the principal has helped make the tough financial decisions easier. So whether it's life insurance, disability income insurance, or medical coverage, we can make protecting you and yours a lot less stressful. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
Reach out and press here, and here, and here. Feel how better placement of controls leads to better focus on the road. If not, that's because there's only one place to experience the intuitive design of the RX. Your Lexus dealer. Where you can lease the 2008 RX all-wheel drive for $489 a month for 36 months, with $35.89 due at signing.
Great deal of implications at the end of the year. So, but I think right now we're coming in to play Virginia in a pretty good frame of mind.
Really the ultimate stand-up guy, G-Man. And he knows what's at stake here. This game, I believe, is an absolute must as you look at their tournament resume, and it wouldn't hurt if they got a conference tournament victory after that.
At least, and but they know the position that they put themselves in. Fortunately, Timmy, they've still got the ball on their racket. I mean, they can win a few games, and they can make a compelling case for themselves to get into the NCAA tournament, but they have made it harder.
The issue for Virginia, to some extent, when you look at what happened to them a year ago, a team that got a share of the league crown, it kind of proves the point that this is a very fragile game. Some injuries can do you in, even if you have an All-America candidate like Singletary. As you see the youngster Calvin Baker, original walk-on from Newport News, by way of William and Mary, and Virginia now on a 7-0 run.
This is Virginia's best backcourt that's out there with Baker and Singletary. They work very well together.
Speaking of William and Mary, they had a huge upset in the semifinals today of the conference tournament. The Colonial Athletic Association beating VCU.
Well, that's bad news for a lot of bubble teams out there because VCU will get a bid.
And that means George Mason has a chance to play in the finals. They're in the other semifinals tonight. It'll be William and Mary from the state of Virginia in that tournament finale. Joseph.
Well, so far, Maryland has played the pick and roll very well with Singletary, and they've kept him out of the lane. But I look for him to get a little more aggressive now that he's settled into this game.
Vasquez for three. Baker gets the rebound. Outlets to Singletary. Scott on the wing. Joseph, the follow, and he's fouled. Milborn getting it into the act again. That's the second against Landon Milborn.
It's been a little surprising to me early on, Tim, that Virginia has done as good a job as they have on the offensive glass against a very good rebounding Maryland team.
Speaking of tournament resumes and teams that fall into similar categories, we'll be discussing that again tonight as this the final regular season game of this conference and what's ahead for the big leagues. Their conference tournaments beginning this week. Teams like Miami had a narrow loss on the road at Florida State. Virginia Tech, Seth Greenberg's team almost pulled it off at Clemson today. Mike, you hit on it a few weeks ago. Never in the modern era have we seen conference tournaments mean as much to bubble teams in the 6 BCS leagues as perhaps this year. Osby gets that one to go. That stopped an 8-0 run.
Well, so far Osby looks like he is getting into the flow and rhythm, and Maryland again pounding away inside. Most of their field goal attempts in this game have been in the paint area.
Jameel Tucker's into the game now, number 12 in white. As the ultimate stop-and-go leaner by Singletary, pressing just a bit. And it's taken out of there by Vasquez. Cliff Tucker is in the game now as well, as you see Vasquez hitting that little runner in the painted area.
Well, that was just a nice cut off of the post feed that time. Good little bounce pass, well-designed play.
Shot clock winding down. And Baker comes up with it. Using the screen from Joseph. Joseph pops out high, decides to launch. Well defended by Maryland.
Well, it's the bigger guards of Maryland right now that is giving Virginia's backcourt trouble, especially on the offensive end of the floor.
Osby. Well, Bombali with 6 now. Maryland up by 3, 14-11.
In ACC competition before this last little stretch, they have 12 points, 8 rebounds per game, and he is starting to play like he did 3 weeks ago. He's gotten off to a good start in this game.
Baker pulls up. Way off the mark, and there's the follow. Ever the workman picking up the garbage. L.MIKALAUSKAS.
Yeah, they're not going to dump the ball into him in the low block and let him operate, but and any kind of penetration and offensive reboundings, that's where he's going to pick up his offense.
Tucker. Boy, they've given really some pause.